Contra is one of the landmark game franchises on the NES, right up there with the likes of Mega Man and Castlevania. The run and gun gameplay is fast and exciting, but best of all, it can be experienced with a friend in the simultaneous two-player mode. There were 3 Contra games on the NES, and while the third entry in the series, Contra Force, is not as bad as the internet will lead you to believe, it was just a different Konami game called Archound that was renamed to cash in on the success of the Contra name. However, the second game in the series, SuperC, is arguably an upgrade versus the original game. Almost everything that made the first Contra awesome is present here, and the backgrounds are more detailed, the weapons are improved, and the game does a much better job at handling lots of enemies on the screen without slowdown. Despite all of these improvements, IGN ranked the original Contra at number 12 on their top 100 NES games of all time, but SuperC was number 60. The crowdsourced list on Ranker.com has Contra listed as the number 4 best NES game of all time, while SuperC is only 23. Perhaps even more telling, when Nintendo released the game lineup for its NES Classic Mini, fans were outraged when they included SuperC and not the original Contra. So why was the original so much more popular than the sequel? In my opinion, there is only one change to blame. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. That's right. While the Konami code appears in dozens of video games, it will always be intrinsically linked with its appearance in the original Contra for its ability to give each player 30 lives. It changes the feel of the game entirely. At the core, both Contra and SuperC were originally arcade games designed to eat up the player's money. With the Konami code entered, it feels like you've come to the arcade with a whole bag filled with quarters, and you weren't going to leave until the alien threat was neutralized. The 30 lives code does exist in the Japanese and European versions of SuperC, but someone thought that North American gamers didn't want that experience. Only a modified code was included to give players 10 lives instead of the usual 3. 10 lives certainly helps, but the decision to nerf the code for the US version is confusing to say the least. I don't think that the sequel's title does it any favors either. Why abbreviate the title to Super C instead of just Super Contra? The Contra brand was very strong after the success of the first game, and calling this one Super C almost sounds like some kind of Contra knockoff that was carefully tiptoeing around what title they could legally use. In Japan, the full name is Super Contra: The Alien Strikes Back, which sounds much stronger. I don't know for sure why they called it Super C, but I would speculate that Konami wanted to distance itself a bit from the political connections to the Contra name. In the 1980s, the United States was involved in a scandal where they were found to be supporting a militant group of Nicaraguans in their fight against communism. These Nicaraguans called themselves the Contra Revolutionarios. The original Contra seems to embrace its connection to the Nicaraguan revolutionaries with its jungle settings, and even the name of the enemy aliens, Red Falcon, has strong communist overtones. For the 1990 release of SuperC, it seems like the developers pushed the sci-fi themes much harder and stepped back from the controversial source material. By the time Contra 3: The Alien Wars was released in 1992, the scandal had faded in American memories, and the word Contra was more associated with the game series than the event that inspired it. If you like the original Contra, but find SuperC intimidating, you owe it to yourself to give it another try. The Contra series has always been known for its difficulty, but you can beat this game. You're just going to need a little help. What if I told you there were tons of pro strategies we can use to get through even the most difficult levels unscathed? What if I told you how to find all of the game's powerful spread guns so you'll never have to spend more than a few seconds with the default rifle? And what if I told you there were secret safe spots which will allow you to effortlessly beat the game's most challenging bosses? On today's episode of You Can Beat Video Games, we'll learn all of that and more. If you're new to the channel, we're doing deep dives on retro video games and giving you the professional strategies that can be used by the casual gamer. Please make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Let's get started. Now, before we get started, if you want the 10 lives code, it is right, left, down, up, A, B, and then press start. You'll see it'll say rest 10 instead of rest 3. Now, I'm going to be playing without the code, but if you just want to have a fun run on this game and get a feel for it, the 10 life code is a great way to do that. When you get started here, shoot that football-shaped object and grab the machine gun power-up, and then shoot this second football to get the R power-up. The M makes it so we don't have to mash the B button to fire anymore. We can just hold it down to shoot a continuous stream of bullets, and the R will make whatever weapon we have shoot faster. So continue to mow down any enemies you see. Shooting this football will get us a mega shell, which clears any enemies on the screen. These constantly spawning soldiers are called aliens in sergeant skins clothing. I don't make this stuff up, that's what they're actually called. Watch out for the machine gun soldiers here and this guy that throws dynamite. We can get another gun here, the fire weapon, and the fire weapon shoots an explosive round out. Watch out for these dynamites here. They shoot 3 dynamites and then there's a pause, so wait for that pause and then move forward. A lot of people don't know you can actually charge up the fire weapon by holding down the button when you shoot it to get a more powerful shot. The spread weapon is obviously our best gun, so as soon as you get it, be very careful not to die. This is one of those one-hit kill kind of games, so if you get touched by anything, you'll lose a life, and you'll also lose your spread gun. So just try to hose down all the enemies on the screen as you move forward. Watch out for this pop-up turret, and also the machine gun soldier that's down in this lower divot. He can be very tricky to avoid. And this is going to be the first boss, the Great Helicopter. Get over here to the left and shoot up to take out the cannons as they appear on screen. You need to take out all 4 of the cannons on the side of the helicopter to reveal its weak point. Then get right under it and just start shooting that weak point as quickly as possible. If you take too long, a back hatch will open up and soldiers will jump out. You'll want to deal with those before you get back to attacking the weak spot. And that's it. We've completed Stage 1. Stage 2, titled Fort Firestorm's Warped Mind Command Center, features a new perspective for the Contra series. This overhead look is much more similar to games like Commando or Konami's own Jagger. In any case, there are lots of power-ups here at the beginning. There's a machine gun right at the very beginning. I grabbed the fire just briefly so I could take out this Tucker enemy in the tank. It's very effective against him. But you're going to want the spread weapon so that you can defeat any of the constant spawns that will still be terrorizing you here in Stage 2. Stay between the 3 shots and take out the Tucker on the right. Once he's gone, you can easily defeat the one at the left by attacking it from the side. So just kind of get in there, get some shots, back off so that it doesn't shoot you, and then move back in and hit it again. To the sides there will be some more machine gun troopers, just shoot them and move forward. There's another spread gun here if you need it. Take out this turret before it shoots you. It can only shoot in the 8 directions. And this second turret's kind of tricky. It seems like you should be able to shoot it now, but until you move it a little bit more on the screen and it starts shooting back, it is actually invulnerable. Take out that machine gun trooper, and here's a mega shell to take out anybody else on the screen. Move forward, taking out any soldiers in your path. When we get up here, there's going to be 2 turrets, one on the left and one on the right. You want to attack diagonally and just kind of move up, shoot it, and then move back to avoid the shots. And once you take out the left one, the right one can be easily taken out right from that position I was standing in. Now we'll shoot through this wall, and we will be at the second boss. This boss is called the Magnetic Powered Heavily Armored Vehicle Magnus. To kill Magnus, we only need to defeat the green gunner, but you'll want to stay down in this like dark brown part in the bottom so that you don't get hit by the laser barrier, and just keep shooting up at it, and you'll be able to take this boss out with no problems. And we're on to Stage 3, the Tropics of Torture. Stage 3 is a side-scrolling jungle-themed stage that would feel right at home in the original Contra. Head to the right and watch out for this turret that pops up out of the ground. If you don't have the spread gun, you'll need to duck down to destroy it. Also watch out for the machine gun soldiers that pop up out of the trees. Over here we can grab another rapid fire and a mega shell, and continue to the right where we will face off with 2 more of these ground turrets. Make sure to pause occasionally to turn and shoot the alien soldiers that come from behind. They can overwhelm you if you are not careful. Right here there's a machine gun if you need it. Get right up close to this mortar launcher and shoot it, but don't actually touch the mortar launcher, you would lose a life for that. Watch out for this guy who is prone behind some sandbags. You may need to duck down to shoot him. Keep heading to the right, watching out for the constant spawns. Now if you press down in the water, you'll actually be invincible, which is pretty awesome. If you're overwhelmed by enemies, just press down and hide for a few seconds, and pop up when the coast is clear. Keep heading to the right, take out any machine gun soldiers in the trees that you see, and duck down if you need to be invincible. When we get to the end of this, you can shoot another prone soldier without ducking. You'll be right on his level while you're in the water. Jump out of the water and continue over to the right, and we are about to fight our first mini-boss in this stage. His name is the Babaloo Destructoid Mechanism. The Babaloo is very easy to defeat. Go all the way to the right and duck down. Then turn 1 step to the left and just duck down and keep shooting at this guy. If you have the spread gun, you'll be able to hit him without getting up. Now, if you don't have the spread gun, you will need to pop up and shoot him. You'll still be safe from his shots, but you won't be safe from him touching you, so you'll need to duck down occasionally. Here in the earthquake area, we can get an invincibility B power-up, and you want to just head as far to the right as you can. Just keep jumping and just push right. If you stay far to the right, you won't fall in any of the holes, although if you feel the ground falling out from under you, make sure to jump. And we are here at the actual boss, the outer defense system. Surprisingly, you can damage this boss the second it appears on the screen, even if it seems like it's not taking damage. Don't miss your opportunity to attack the vulnerable red point before it starts attacking you. Once it gets going, try to avoid the purple circles and watch out for the shots that they shoot, and just try to focus your attack on the vulnerable point in the middle. It'll go down quickly. And that's it. You've completed Stage 3. Things get even more intense in Stage 4, the Lair of the Jungle Aliens. As you move forward here, be very cautious of this turret that spits bubbles. Bubbles may not seem very intimidating for an enemy, but they're actually the most dangerous enemies in the entire game. So shoot the bubbles as much as you can, try to clear a path through, and move through cautiously. Some of the constantly spawning enemies here will shoot at you, so be ready to jump or duck to avoid them, and move all the way to the right before shooting any of these barrels. That way you'll be safe when they fall. Up here there will be some rotating turrets, as well as some alien birdmen. If you get underneath the rotating turret so that you're just slightly to the left or the right of where it can shoot you, you'll be safe and you can easily damage it. Even if you don't have the spread gun, you can do this with the standard rifle as well. The alien birdmen will continuously spawn from these doors. Be very careful of the barrels here. I was lucky to not get hit by them that time. They can often surprise you if you're not ready. Over here we can get a rapid fire, as well as a machine gun if we weren't so lucky to get through that first part unscathed. And here we have an auto-scrolling section on an elevator. Just as we did before, get slightly to the left or the right of where the rotating turret can shoot you, aim up and shoot at it. Over here, there's going to be a machine gun soldier that appears above us. Take him out and watch out for his shots. And the auto-scroller is going to stop here. Take out the alien birdmen before you ascend to the next auto-scrolling section. So we come up here and it'll start moving again. Take out this turret that is attached to a pipe. These guys can be very dangerous if you leave them unchecked, so make sure to kill them quickly. Take out some more rotating turrets up here. And just stay down in the bottom of the auto-scroller. There's going to be some more of those turrets on a pipe up here. This is the point where we can grab our spread gun if you didn't have it, and you are going to need it here because there's going to be more bubbles. Now focus your shots up into the sky and try to take out the bubbles as soon as they appear on the screen. If you don't have the spread gun here, or if you lose it, it's going to be very difficult to take out all the bubbles, so you may need to do some fancy footwork to jump over them as they will home in onto your position. Take out the birdmen, but make sure to prioritize the bubbles. You do not want the bubbles to linger on the screen for more than a second or two. And once you get to this point, it's time to fight another boss, the Laser Chandelier. The Laser Chandelier is not particularly difficult. Stay over on the far left and shoot upwards to attack the leftmost laser. It does the same pattern over and over again. So it will shoot the lasers across from right to left, and then left to right, and then right to left, and left to right again. Even if you've taken some of the lasers out, it will pause as if they're still there. So you just never want to stay under the active lasers for very long if you can, but it's very easy to see the pattern. So if you see that it was going over to the right, just kind of wait for it to finish up and head under it while it's safe. And I like to just take it out from both ends. Just shoot it very carefully and just don't linger underneath the beams. As long as you're not underneath the beams and attacking it from the sides at an angle, it really can't damage you. So you will have to cross under it occasionally, just be ready for that. And take out each of the laser turrets. This thing will blow up, and we will be on to Stage 5. Stage 5 is called Massacre Mountain, and it reminds me a lot of Stage 3, the waterfall, from the original game. There are no inclined surfaces though in the first Contra, so these slopes are something new. Now when you see that gray tank pop out, you want to go back down the slope and shoot it from underneath, just like this second one here as well. Watch out for these rotating turrets. You want to go directly below them if you can, and shoot from the left or the right of where they can actually shoot you. So continue up the slopes, and as the screen scrolls upward, it will never scroll back down. So if you fall into an empty space, you'll just die and lose a life. So be very careful as you move the screen upwards here. There's a rapid fire here, and in that football on the right, there will be another spread gun and a mega shell in the football power-up on the left. Watch out for these machine gun soldiers as you move up, and there's going to be some purple rocks up here. The purple rocks have very large hitboxes. You want to be extra careful that there isn't a rock falling when you jump between the platforms. That's the one that will always get me. And we're up here on the top. This part is much easier. Now that we've been to the peak of Massacre Mountain, the game will suddenly allow us to scroll downwards. It's weird. Make sure to take out this turret and shoot all of the soldiers that spawn behind you. They will overwhelm you quickly when you have to fight this other turret down here in the bottom if you don't shoot them early. Clear out these soldiers, and it's time to fight what may be the most difficult boss in the entire game, the Crypto Crustacean. Unlike the previous boss, you can't actually damage this guy until it's been on the screen for a few seconds. Make sure to take out any of the spiky red balls it shoots. Those will home in on your position and just hose down the blinking red spot with your weapon. If you take it out quickly, that will be your best chance for survival. And we're on to Stage 6. Stage 6, Jagger Freud's Doom Defense, is the most difficult stage in the game, hands down. If this were the arcade version, it would also be the final stage in the game, but that's not the case here on the NES. There's 2 power-ups here. If you only have the default rifle, you want to grab the F or the M power-ups. These mouth enemies are called liposuctions. They do appear for a few frames before they start attacking, so you want to kind of keep moving here, but be wary of any liposuctions that may appear in your path. These rotating aliens will just spin around you and they're not a big threat, but the spider aliens will start shooting if you leave them unchecked. This area is very difficult. There is a spread weapon here that you can grab. You want to just keep moving through this area, but you need to destroy any of these red spiky balls that get too close to you. They won't change their trajectory once they start moving, so if they're not coming into your path, you'll know that you're safe. And we'll just blow through this doorway, and we'll be on our way to the boss, Jagger Freud himself. The first form is fairly simple. Just get to the left of the bullets that it shoots, and take out any red spiky balls that emerge from the portals on the side. Once it's gone, position yourself right next to the right portal, and just start mashing the fire button. You want to take out this dragon that will come out of this portal as soon as possible. So just shoot that dragon. Now you want to counter any of Jagger Freud's shots that he shoots by shooting them with your own weapon. And you can just stand here and just keep shooting him and he'll die. Now if you don't have the spread weapon, you need to get up on the right and shoot him from here. But if there are any active projectiles on the screen, you'll need to clear them first, and then that will become a safe spot for you. And that's it. You've completed the most difficult stage in the game. Stage 7, the Radioactive Lava Fields, is all new for the NES port of the game. Up here at the beginning, there's a rapid fire and a machine gun to grab, and this is a vertical level where we will be working our way from the top to the bottom the entire time. These purple aliens are called Manukis, and as long as you keep a decent amount of space between you and the Manuki, its shots won't be able to reach you. What you need to be more careful of are the alien soldiers that can spawn behind you while you're attacking it. So watch out for the constant spawns and just keep some space between you and the Manuki, and you should have no problem taking these guys out, even if you don't have an advanced weapon like the spread gun. Continue to head downwards, and down here we need to shoot down to take out these green alien skulls. There will be a laser power-up, and you'll also see a fire, which will be in the right football here, but neither of those weapons are as effective as the spread gun for digging downwards through the green skulls. Now if you don't have a spread gun yet, there's going to be one in the right football power-up that appears here, and the left one is a rapid fire for you as well. These evil Agrons release bugger enemies, which are the same aliens that you would have had to fight while dealing with the final boss of the original Contra. They can't hurt you if you attack them from above, so just stay on the platforms above and shoot downwards with your spread gun to take them out before you go down on their level. Whatever you do, you want to avoid jumping down on the same level as these whenever possible. You will have to do it here, and so you can see what will happen. You need to shoot them immediately whenever you have to get right up next to them. Take out the left one here, and then you're going to have to jump down to take out the right one. Watch out for the buggers that it shoots. And here you'll be able to take out the right evil Agron, but you're going to have to deal with the left one as soon as you get down on that platform. Now, I actually destroyed it, but its sprite didn't disappear. That's a bit of a glitch, it just happens sometimes. On this level, there's 2 of them. Shoot as fast as you can, and take out the right one in this set before you head downward. Looks like I didn't actually clear it that time, it was not a glitch. And as you fall down here, we'll reach the next boss, the Temple of Terror. This boss is not as difficult as it looks. If you have the spread gun, it's actually fairly easy. Just stay in the middle and just keep shooting upwards, taking out those red spiky balls that the mouth releases before they get to you. You'll also want to make sure that you're hitting those purple blobs as they spawn as well. You can actually only damage this boss when its mouth is open. Now, if you don't have the spread gun, you're going to probably want to do a modified strategy instead and attack the 2 horns on the side until they're destroyed first. That will make your life a lot easier, because you'll still need to take out those red spiky balls when the mouth is opening. And that's it. We're on to the final stage. Stage 8, the Red Falcon Palace, is quite difficult, but we've beaten some difficult levels already, so I know that we can handle it. Here at the beginning, we'll start fighting these constant spawns, which are the actual Red Falcon aliens this time, and we'll need to be cautious of these mouths that will open and release the red spiky balls at us. Take out any of those mouths that you see before you move forward. This is actually a very difficult jump here. Make sure to take out the mouth and then get to the very edge. Also, if you're going to need the spread gun, be ready to shoot the football power-up right as you land that difficult jump. Keep moving to the right and duck down here. This guy is called a Jagger Freud Spit Soldier. He can be very dangerous because of the constantly spawning Red Falcon enemies. There's going to be another one right here. Duck down and shoot it. But you have to watch out for those constantly spawning Red Falcons. They can pop up right behind you. You may need to do some very dangerous juggling to get between that guy's shots while avoiding the constant spawns. Keep heading up here and move to the right. Take out the mouth below you. You don't want to get hit by any of those red spiky balls. And here we'll have the opportunity to grab a fire power up if you need it. And in this section, the ceiling is going to come crashing down on us. Don't be alarmed. It's just going to limit our jumping for the moment. But when it gets to the top, these orange alien eggs will appear. Shoot whichever ones are closest to you and then keep heading to the right. The ones that are far to the left will have trouble catching up. Now here you need to be careful as you cross these platforms. The ceiling will fall before you make this jump, so wait for it and then jump and take out as many of these alien eggs as you can. Now head over to the next platform. If you shoot up, you should be able to take out the alien eggs right as they emerge from the ceiling. Keep moving to the right, being very careful of the constantly spawning Red Falcons. And over here, we will be safe now from the dropping ceiling, so you won't have to worry about that anymore. Keep moving over to the right. And at this point, we'll need to just take out a couple more Red Falcons and drop down. Keep moving over here. And this is the final boss, the Shadow Beast Kimco. The Shadow Beast Kimco could not be an easier final boss. It might even be easier than Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wait for it to emerge completely from the ground and then jump right up onto the front of it and just keep angling your gun up and to the right and shooting. This will even work if you just have the standard rifle. Nothing that it shoots at you will actually be able to get you from this position, and you will whittle down its health until it finally explodes and is destroyed. Yep, it's that easy. And that's it. You've beaten Super C. All we can do now is sit back, relax, and enjoy the cheesy ending. Well, there actually isn't much of an ending at all in this game. It just takes you straight into the staff credits. Thanks for playing. Well, I hope this video has helped you finally defeat the Red Falcon and brought peace to the Earth for now. If it did, make sure to give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more videos, because we know that the alien wars have only just begun, and that's why we'll be back again next week with another video game you can beat. Thanks for watching.